Hi guys, it's Lack Love and Yogini here, and today we're going to talk about summer dryness and different ways that summer activities and the summer heat can adversely affect your locks and what you can do to prevent that. Some of the causes of summer dryness that we face regularly. First of all, we have the sun's heat, just the intense rays down here in the southeast. The sun is relentless. If you're outside for God, I don't know, 10 minutes, you can come back inside and you can feel that like every single ounce of moisture has been evaporated from your hair and it's just crunchy nonsense. So, you gotta resist the sun for one. Another pretty common cause of dryness for your locks in the summer would just be the frequent amount of washing. A lot of us are a lot more active in the summer. So, like, for example, I like to do my hot yoga year round, but during the summer it's even worse because it's being added on, the heat from the class, and then you go outside and it's still, burning hot outside. It's like you never left the hot yoga classroom in the first place. That kind of sucks. And then we have a lot more activities that we do. So, mountain biking and hiking and swimming and all that stuff. You're trying to wash your locks after each of those activities so that you're as fresh and clean and fabulous as possible. It could just dry out your hair. It's just tough. And then one of the last causes of summer dryness that I didn't even really think about at first would be the use of hot water. So you're washing your hair, you have these shampoos, even if you think you're being good, and so you're just gonna co-wash and skip the shampoo. A lot of us really like hot water. It's just the way that it feels. It's like a nice little spa treatment because it's so warm and relaxing. But the more hot water you're putting in your hair, like really hot water, the more it's stripping those natural oils that you really need to protect your hair. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. You shouldn't stop living the life that you love just because you're thinking about your hair. I've never understood people that are like, oh, I'm not going to go outside because I just got my hair did. I'm like, really? You're not going to live because of a hairstyle? That's kind of ridiculous. Um, so in order to do the things that you like to do all summer and not look like a complete hot mess, I have a couple of suggestions that might help your hair to retain moisture during the summer. So the first would be to water your hair, just as if it were a little growing plant. Coming from a life where I had a relaxer for years and years and years, I learned to avoid water outside of the shower. Like if I was not washing my hair, then my hair was not getting wet. Because with a relaxer, it's like the second your roots get wet, they start getting puffy and your natural curls come back in, but then your ends are straight and you just look crazy. So a lot of us have been brought up with a mindset to, avoid moisture at all costs if you're not directly washing your hair. So once you get locks, and that entire mindset has to change. Moisture is incredibly good for your hair. And if it gets a little wet while you're in the shower, if it gets a little wet, running through the rain, that's great, actually. Your hair really can take in that moisture. And as long as you're letting it dry thoroughly in between, your hair will be even better for it. So one, I encourage you to embrace water and not run from it as we may have when we had relaxers, because just that little bit of added moisture really helps out a lot. Secondly, I would recommend a good leave-in conditioner. Now, a lot of people will kind of shy away from that. It really depends on your hair type. My hair locked pretty easily. My hair is naturally really coily, really kinky, really nappy, so it loves dreadlocks. It's not gonna unravel easily regardless of what I put in it these days. But if you have hair that's finer and tends to want to unravel anyway, a leave-in conditioner could weaken your locks. So keep that in mind. But if your hair seems pretty resilient and it can handle it, I recommend creating a leave-in conditioner. That way you can spritz your hair with it right when you get out of the shower, and it just gives it a little oomph of moisture to get you through the day. So I don't go out and buy like a separate leave-in conditioner. I think I don't see a point for it. So what I do is I make my own. Just go to your hair care supply store, grab one of these little convenient bottles, and I will take one of my favorite conditioners. I did a video on this one, by the way. You should check that out. But I take the Hask macadamia oil conditioner and I put maybe a tablespoon inside of the bottle, and then I just add tons and tons of water. Shake it up, and then it just makes a nice little mist. And it's not enough conditioner that your hair is going to start, unraveling or getting really frizzy or anything like that. And it's not enough to cause buildup either. It's just enough that you have a little hint of moisturizer in with your water, so it makes a great spritz that's really affordable and inexpensive, I would probably do this every 2 or 3 days. I wouldn't recommend doing it every day because it seems to last pretty long for me. So for my third recommendation to fight summer dryness, I would recommend finding your hair's best friend, which would be an oil. Now, some people feel differently about different types of oil. There's a camp for people that are just all about olive oil, and then there's a camp for grapeseed oil, whatever works for you. It is a trial and error sort of thing because the type of oil that works best for your hair will probably change based on the season. And it can even change within the season based on what you're using as your shampoo and conditioner or just what activities you're doing. So your oil of the day, your champion, will probably change. But I recommend after washing and conditioning your hair, if you choose to condition it, to just rub some oil in your palm of your hands and just run it down your hair. Or you can even put the oil in your palms while you're retwisting if you do that. And it just really helps to seal in moisture, I think. My oil of the day is the California Olive Ranch olive oil. This one kind of does double duty. So what I do is I'll buy a huge bottle like this one, and then I split it. So I put half of the oil inside of just some regular, plastic bottle I got from the salon, and then I leave the actual real bottle in the kitchen and use it and cook with it. But I do that because I use so much of it on my hair, and you never want to kind of do the hair stuff with your food stuff. That's just kind of weird. So I separate the two. But for me, it's been really great because it's light enough that I can put it in my hair and it doesn't weigh it down. But it's also just great enough that it sort of seeps into my hair and it doesn't rub off on the car seat and on my pillow and stuff like that. So it's just been really great for me. I've tried grapeseed oil and it's good. I like it. I don't think it helps with frizziness as much. Like, I think my hair still gets pretty frizzy when I put grapeseed oil in it, whereas the olive oil seems to calm everything down. So I would recommend starting off with olive oil if you don't have a preference. So yeah, my third recommendation would be to find an oil that you love and just add it into your hair after you do your wash routine. And that will usually last for a couple of days in helping to fend off some of that summer dryness. And the fourth recommendation is something that I know very little about. I'm not going to lie to you. The fourth recommendation is to find a protective style. Because for some reason, when our hair is, first of all, having your hair in locks prevents certain types of dryness anyway. At least that's what I've noticed between having relaxed hair and having locked hair. But with locks, you can still find protective styles that help to keep your ends from hanging loose and your hair from hanging loose in general. So one of my favorite ones is to do a bun. Pretty simple. I still suck at buns. I'm still really bad at them. But I do try to do that every once in a while. So if you have a protective style that you can tuck your ends in and just keep your hair, nice and bound together, then you won't have as much surface area that's exposed to the sun and to the elements. So it's not going to dry out as much, basically. Other protective styles would include different head wraps. I love trying those out. Some of them I don't wear as much as I used to be honest. I used to wrap my hair quite a lot with different scarves and stuff like that. And I'll probably get back into that this summer when I'm feeling festive. But yeah, I would recommend that too. Just because, again, if your hair is covered, if your hair is bound, you're not going to have as much surface area that's exposed to the sun, and you're not going to lose as much moisture that way. So that'll be really helpful. So if you have any other tips and recommendations, feel free to leave that information in the comments section below and share that with the rest of the community. And I thank you guys for spending a couple minutes with me to learn a little bit more about some different hair care methods. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.